Hello watch lovers! So here on the Watchfinder YouTube channel, it is my privilege to get to touch such shiny and luxurious watches as the ones featured on our videos. And this year I got hands-on with a ton of amazing pieces. Limited editions, exotic materials, big brands from affordable to luxury and everything in between. So here's some of my favourite ones that I reviewed in the last 12 months. So this year I got my mitts on a lovely watch, something that's a little bit different from Longines. Here we have a tried and true model that has something a little bit extra. This is the Longines Spirit Chronograph Pioneer Edition. It's a pilot style watch in a grade 5 titanium case with a triple sub-dial display and chunky numerals that are raised off the dial for a nice bit of depth, and then it's all topped off with neon green highlights. Sort of like the spectral green glow of the Northern Lights, but in watch dial numeral form. It's 42mm and it has a strong presence on your wrist, but for the most part it's quite subdued on a black synthetic strap with a black dial, and then with the slightly darker grey of a titanium case, it's all pretty toned down. So then when you introduce this neon green, it really pops. It's got pizzazz, but it's still understated at the same time. It's a good combo, I really like it. And it's also got a COSC certified automatic movement inside with silicon balance spring and 66 hour of power reserve, which is nice. Pre-owned, this absolute watch goes for around £2,500. So now, if I was starting my watch collection again, I'd buy this watch twice and be done with it. One in blue for every day and then one in red for more formal occasions. So this is the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time Negroni, where the red dial is the star of the show, and the simplicity of the watch lets the surface pattern on the dial really stand out, and you get a radiant sunburst diamond type deal which echoes light refraction and seems like the sort of exquisite pattern you'd get from a rose engine lathe. There's also a vintage style domed crystal, crisp hands, a date window and applied numerals in a really handsome classical font, and this is just such a nice watch. And even if you don't have much cool for a dress watch, it's so cool that it'll just elevate any outfit, even gym jams. This Seiko Presage Cocktail Time Negroni costs £400. Next we have the Heuer Carrera Chronograph, and this year I got hands on with several models in the glass box range, and I just love this watch. The glass box design is a winner. The smoothness of it, the curvaceousness of the dial, and the dome sapphire really feel tactile and satisfying. And it's a perfect size for me in a 39mm stainless steel case. It's compact and it wears really comfortably. And in either a blue or black dial variation, it's subtle and tasteful. It's a chronograph as well, and the pump style pushers are satisfying and give the watch a good level of fiddleability. And now I'm not a motor racing enthusiast. I drive a Citroën Ami, and the whole car racing heritage and DNA of the Heuer Carrera isn't as meaningful an element of this watch as it would be to other more passionate carmen, but nevertheless I just love the design of this watch so much, and how it looks is the most important thing to me, and I think this watch looks really good. It could say Invicta on the dial, and I would still love it. The Carrera Chronograph glass box costs around £4,000 pre-owned. So I am a big fan of any watch that has a rendition of a colossal lizard on the back. Call me old-fashioned. And so a Grand Seiko Godzilla collaboration watch is right up my alley. Here on this Grand Seiko Godzilla 65th Anniversary Limited Edition, you can see the Big G giving the famous Seiko clock tower what for during one of his famous drunken Tokyo rampages. And I finally got hands on this mythical watch recently, and I absolutely love it. Now, I'm a slender wrist type of guy, and as expected, a Godzilla watch wears pretty big, but that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's kind of the point. After all, it's a monster. And it looks beautiful, from the muscular and angular case to the red sunray dial, which apparently is red to match Godzilla's atomic breath, so they say, but if you were to ask me, I'd say his breath was typically blue, from what I remember. But what I think is happening here is the red is to match Godzilla's depiction in the movie Shin Godzilla, which was directed by Shinji Higuchi, the guy responsible for the rendering of Godzilla on the caseback. And that film features a depiction of Godzilla at his most visceral and grotesque, with red bits. And there's a particularly striking scene of Godzilla in a kind of larval state sliding down the streets of Tokyo, oozing red sludge everywhere. It's horrifying, and I think that's why the dial is red. I might be wrong. Anyway, beautiful watch, 44mm in titanium, limited to just 650 pieces, and this beast goes for around £10,000 pre-owned. Would wear. So ahead of this year's Watches and Wonders, I got the special privilege to try a new Reverso watch from Jaeger-LeCoultre. Now, JLC are one of those really clever brands that make complications look simple and effortless, and I really admire the genius of this watch. This is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Tribute Geographic, and you get the dual-wielding dials of a Reverso, with one side a classic rectangular face, which is clean and sophisticated, with sharp faceted applied indices and gleaming broad hands on a deep, rich blue sunburst dial, as well as a grand date display with JLC's very own patented date discs. And then on the other side you get a world time indicator displaying the time in 24 major time zones simultaneously, and a beautiful rendition of the globe. So the world time complication is run by the Caliber 834, and it's both easy to read and easy to set thanks to a handy hidden pusher at the top of the case. The Reverso is of course the perfect 2-for-1 watch, and here you've got your everyday watch, albeit a beautifully elegant everyday watch, for your everyday stuff, and then whenever you need it, you've got a world time watch. So when you're off on your travels, bam! You just give it a whiz, and then world times there is. Genius. Now, as part of our video exploring watches made from exotic materials, I got to try this Tudor Black Bay 58925. And of the 100-odd Tudor models with Black Bay in the name, this one is unique because it features a case of solid silver, which gives the watch a lustrous quality that is much more radiant than steel. However, it is quite hard to do justice with pictures. It's just one of those things that's better experienced live, like Daphne and Celeste. But the silverness of this watch is nice and bright, and it's really pleasing. So Tudor states that the colour of the dial and bezel on this watch is taupe. Now, I'm not the world's biggest fan of taupe, but it's desaturated enough to appear grey in most environments, so that's cool. And it's all about the incandescence of the case anyway, which is just brilliant, and it really does glow when it catches the light just right. And what I like about it is it is still a functional tool watch, but it's just been amplified with a bit of extra preciousness. And also, as an added bonus, if a werewolf were ever to get you in a headlock or something, because it's solid silver, you could just like stuff it in its mouth and run off. Anyway, this is easily one of my favourite Tudor watches. It's a little bit special, and it costs around £3,000 pre-owned. Now, YouTube watch scholars often pontificate that the Omega Speedmaster is one of the greatest watches of all time. And that's a pretty good shout, I think. With its timeless utilitarian appearance and a cool moon landing backstory, it is hard to beat. And it's hard to improve upon too, but that doesn't stop Omega from trying, and fairly often their noodling around with the Speedmaster turns up a pretty cool remix from time to time. Like this, Omega Speedmaster Moonphase Blue Side of the Moon. So you get the recognisability of the Moonwatch, but it's been elevated with exotic materials. And I'm a big admirer of the astral nature of an aventurine dial, and here you can see the way it glistens in the light is really next level, as is the blue ceramic case, which changes its hue in the light too. And I'm a big fan of a Moonphase display too, especially one with a nicely rendered depiction of the moon like this one has. So around £9,000 pre-owned, this is a pretty luxurious watch with Omega's unique 18-carat Sedna gold splashed here and there, but I think the blueness of it keeps it from being too blingy. But it does certainly feel magical. It's sort of like if an Omega Speedmaster collabed with a wizard or something, and I'd like to see more of that. So this year's colour updates for Rolex's Oyster Perpetual collection were pretty fine. They seemed like sensible colour picks from Rolex, tasteful and textbook, not too flashy, but nothing really to drive you wild. But when I got hands on with the Pistachio green version this year, I was pleasantly taken aback. At the time of recording the video, I happened to be wearing a sexy shirt that matched the colour of the dial, and that really helped sell it for me. And actually, I think you need to be careful if you happen to try on a watch that inadvertently matches your clothes. It could be fatal to your wallet, so keep that in mind. So the Oyster Perpetual is pure and simple and classic, and you just can't go wrong with it at all. It's just a beautiful watch. So I'm a sucker for a nature-inspired dial, and this one is a doozy. This is the Christopher Ward C65 Dune Aeolian. And recently we did a rundown video of 10 of the best Christopher Ward watches out there, and while they were all awesome, this one really spoke to me, because when you can make a watch dial resemble a miniature world, then you're really onto something. And here we have a tiny desert on the dial, complete with rippling dunes. And the dunes are so well rendered that they look brilliant from any angle, catching the light and creating depth and texture. Now the watch itself follows the design codes of a classic field watch, and you get a 38mm case, round markers, and a simple 3-hand set. It's all well finished, but nothing too much to distract from the beauty of the dial. And then with a domed crystal and the tan strap, it's all really cohesive. Just some really cool design ideas that are all really well executed. And that's Christopher Ward in a nutshell, I guess. The C65 Dune costs £750. Now, before we get to our final watch, did you know that you can find out about other amazing watches via our Watchfinder newsletter? To get exclusive access to new arrivals, be the first to hear about all our special offers and promotions, and to get first dibs on our giveaways, just head down to the link in the description to sign up. Now this year I was lucky enough to get my hands on a ton of awesome G-Shock watches, including some rare and expensive ones, like this Casio G-Shock MRG B2000 Samurai. So when we think of dream watches, some people long for Lange, some pine for a Patek, and some people covet Bovet. Well, I would throw this G-Shock into the mix as a contender for a Grail watch as well, because this G-Shock has got some surprisingly serious craftsmanship going on here. And given the rarity of the piece, limited to just 800 pieces, and the unprecedented level of the build quality and finishing techniques applied to it, this is a luxury G-Shock that feels really special. So there's loads going on here. You've got a recrystallized hybrid titanium case, forged and tempered with another kind of titanium to resemble a katana blade. There's a truly unique Japanese Algawi shell lacquer bracelet, and a hand-engraved caseback from a world-leading katana swordsmith. So there's a beautiful interplay of textures and finishes, and you get all the robust functionality of a G-Shock too. It feels kind of unreal in a way, a luxurious G-Shock. It's like an artistically and lovingly rendered version of something that is typically built for durability. It's a bit like the silver Tudor, or like a solid gold hammer, or a diamond encrusted brick. But that's luxury watches though, I suppose. Anyway, I love it and I wish it were mine. This G-Shock cost £6,700. Well, there you go. Those were my favourite watches that I got to touch this year. And if you want to check out more amazing watches, then why not head over to watchfinder.com and find your next pre-owned luxury watch. Check it out and I'll catch you in the new year. Goodbye.